Good day, viewers. Let's see further example on inverse element. Like in this case now, an operational asterisk is defined as this. So for all A, B belongs to R, we have to find the inverse element. Of course, we are going to say that X asterisk, the first thing is that we first find the identity element. We can say that let E be the identity element. So that X asterisk E is equal to E asterisk S, and it must give us X. So in this case now, if we look at the relation, S asterisk E will now be equal to 2x plus 2e minus 3 all over 2 must give us 2. Must give us x, which is equal to x. So if we cross multiply here, we are going to have 2x plus 2e minus 3 to be equal to 2x. Of course, 2x minus 2x plus 2e can be equal to 3 when we do the right thing. This will cancel this. So divide both sides by 2. So the identity element will be 3 all over 2. So that will be the identity element. Now that we know the identity element, we can go ahead and find the inverse s prime of x. We can say that let x prime be the inverse of x, so that s prime asterisk s can be equal to s asterisk s prime is equal to identity. So in this case now, s asterisk s prime will give us, when we use that notation, we are going to have 2x plus 2x prime minus 3 all over 2 will be equal to the identity element E. E is the same thing as 3 over 2. 3 over 2. If we cross multiply, we are going to have 2 into bracket 2x plus 2x prime minus 3 to be equal to 6. 2 times 3 is 6. So that we have 4x plus 4x prime minus 6 to be equal to 6. That's what we are going to have. Okay, so that s prime will now be equal to s prime. 4s prime will be equal to 6 plus 6 minus 4x. That's what we're going to get. Then here we have 4s prime to be equal to 12 minus 4x. And of course, in this case now, 4 is common. We can bring out 4. We can bring out 4 to have 4s prime to be equal to 4 into bracket 3 minus x. Okay, so divide both sides by 4. If you divide both sides by 4, 4 will cancel 4. At the end of the day, you realize that at the end of the day, our s prime will now be equal to 3 minus x. And that will be the inverse element that we are required to find. So for us to find the inverse element, it is compulsory to first find the identity element. Because without the identity, we can never get the inverse. So I want us to get this. Without the identity, we cannot get the inverse. Then when you find the identity element, it must be unique. It must be unique. Because the identity element cannot be 2. It must be unique. Thank you.